What do you know about the War of 1812? A complex tapestry of events led to this pivotal conflict, often overlooked in the annals of history. The war's genesis can be traced back to the trade restrictions imposed by Britain, a byproduct of their ongoing conflict with France. These restrictions, a stifling shroud over America's burgeoning economy, were a significant thorn in the side of the young nation. Further adding fuel to the fire was the impressment of American merchant sailors. These men, seeking prosperity on the open seas, were forcibly conscripted into the British Navy, a practice that the Americans viewed as a blatant affront to their sovereignty. Lastly, Britain's clandestine support of Native American tribes against American expansion was a bitter pill to swallow. This, coupled with the other grievances, led to an increase in tension and resentment towards Britain. And so, with tensions high, the stage was set for a conflict that would shape the future of North America. As the war drums began to beat, both sides braced for the coming storm. The War of 1812 was a tempestuous period, marked by key battles and turning points that would shape the course of North American history. The burning of Washington in 1814 stands out as a particularly dramatic event. With the United States capital in flames, the British forces seemed to have gained the upper hand. However, the American spirit would not be so easily quashed. The destruction of their beloved city only stoked the fires of resistance. Meanwhile, on the waters of Lake Erie, another critical battle was brewing. In a testament to the vagaries of war, the Americans, under the command of Oliver Hazard Perry, managed to seize control of the lake. This victory disrupted British supply lines, delivering a significant blow to their war efforts. Yet the tides of war are ever shifting. Both sides were plagued by a lack of preparedness and faced numerous difficulties. The Americans struggled with a fledgling navy and inexperienced troops, while the British were stretched thin, fighting not just in North America but also against Napoleon in Europe. The final throes of this tumultuous conflict came with the Battle of New Orleans. Despite the fact that peace negotiations were already underway, this battle saw General Andrew Jackson and his ragtag army of militiamen, free blacks, Creoles and Native Americans deliver a crushing defeat to the British. It was a bitter end to a war marked by uncertainty and shifting fortunes. Yet the War of 1812 was not a clear-cut affair. Neither side could truly claim outright victory. The British had failed to quash the young American nation, and the Americans had not managed to annex Canada as some had hoped. The war had become a bloody stalemate, and both sides were weary. Despite the bloodshed, neither side could claim a clear victory, leading to a search for peace. In a small city in Belgium, representatives from both nations gathered to put an end to the conflict. This city was Ghent, and the year was 1814. British and American diplomats sat down, determined to negotiate peace after 2 years of warfare. The negotiations were far from straightforward. Both sides had demands, but neither was willing to concede too much. The stalemate continued until they agreed on a solution. The Treaty of Ghent, signed on Christmas Eve of 1814, didn't declare a victor. Instead, it restored relations between the United States and Britain to status quo ante bellum, a fancy Latin term meaning the state existing before the war. This effectively meant that no territory changed hands. The war ended, not in a decisive battle, but in a room full of diplomats and scribes. The ink on the treaty dried, and an era of peace began. And so the War of 1812 ended not with a bang, but with the stroke of a pen. But what did the War of 1812 mean for the United States and Canada? Let's delve into this. For the United States, this war was a catalyst for a new sense of national identity. It was a battle fought on home soil, a battle that tested the mettle of a young nation, and the United States emerged resilient. The war also signaled the end of the Federalist Party, a political entity that had been a cornerstone of American politics. Across the border in Canada, the war had an equally profound impact. It fostered a sense of unity among Canadians, a shared identity born from the flames of conflict. It was a testament to their resistance against American aggression, a resistance that helped shape the Canada we know today. And thus, the War of 1812, a conflict often overlooked in the annals of history, left an indelible mark on the identities of two nations.